Hello and welcome to our review for the Godox TT600 speedlight, and also we have the X2T trigger for Godox, which you can get different variant depending with your camera. There is X2TC, X2TN and X2TS, both for Canon, Nikon and Sony, depending with the type of your camera. Welcome as we take you through how to set up and enjoy. There are two types of speed lights. One is manual and the other one is TTL. TTL means through the lens. So through the lens is whereby the speed light is able to read the exposure through the lens of the camera it's mounted on. So this TT600 is not a TTL speed light. It's a manual speed light, so it doesn't have the capability to read through the lens. Its compatibility to different types of cameras is dependent with the hot shoe of your camera. The hot shoe of a camera is this part. You'll note that most of the Godox speed lights come with the center pin, this one, on the camera, which should now be mounted on the camera and to this point. So if your camera doesn't have this center pin, then be sure that the Godox TT600 will need a trigger so that it is compatible with your camera. Yeah. So ukitaka kujua kama iko compatible na your device, please check if your camera iko na the center pin. Yes. Now to the physical features for this speed light. We'll start with tilting. This speed light can tilt to an angle of 90 degrees. From top to side, then it can tilt a further -7 degrees to bottom, so that when it's mounted on a camera, you're able to take closer pictures to your subject. Then away from tilting, the speed light can rotate to an angle to 180 degrees, either right or left. So with that in mind, you can combine both tilting and rotation towards the direction you want to achieve whatever result you need in your photography. Now to the functionality of the speed light. First, you'll need 4 AA batteries so that your speed light is able to function. The alignment for the batteries is quite straightforward and nothing too difficult on that. Then you can put your speed light to on and you are ready to go. When the speed light comes on, it will come direct to manual, and the lowest light is automatically there, which is 100, which is 1 out of 128, and the highest is 1 out of 1, which you can change to 1 out of 1. Okay, now to the functionalities of the speed light. This Godox TT600 can work in 4 different ways. First, it can work when mounted on a compatible camera with the center pin. That's the first way of how the Godox TT600 will work. The other ways, the Godox TT600 can work as an optical trigger. By optical trigger, I mean is where it will be triggered by a flash from another source of light, like the flash on your camera. You can use this flash to trigger the Godox TT600. So what you'll need to do to set up, you only need to make this one as an optical slave. So under the settings, you just go to zoom, you long press the zoom, then the settings will appear, then you change here, you press set until it appears optical slave. So for this case it's off, so you can turn it once. Sorry, optical slave should be here. You need to be fast, so you can turn it to S1 or S2. These are the different options that you'll get. It's either S1, S2 or off. So S1 means that the trigger will go off when it sees first light for the first time. So just in case you trigger your flash once, you note that the Godox TT600 will still go off. Then we have the other function for S2. S2. Now S2 means that the speed light will go off on the second flash of light. The second flash of light normally is used for red eye reduction. So if your camera is set with the option for red eye reduction, you need to set your speed light to S2 so that it will trigger on the second flash after your camera trigger has triggered. So normally the S2 is for pre-flash cancellation, so that you don't have that effect for the red light. Just to note, this Godox TT600 speed light can be triggered by any speed light, be it another brand like Yongnuo or your built-in flash for camera. So the optical trigger is universal for any type of triggering. It will be active only if the option for optical trigger is on. That's when it will work. The other functionality for this Godox, it can be used as a radio slave. By a radio slave, I mean the Godox can be triggered by another trigger or another Godox speed light of its equivalence. To set up this speed light to be used as a radio slave, you need to go to the settings and long press the mode, then dial on the wheel, you change until it appears S. So now it's in the radio slave. So for it to function, it needs to be on the same channel with the trigger and the same group as you have set on your trigger. Please note that this Godox has 5 groups A, B up to E. Those are 5 groups, not unlike other speed lights which have 3 groups. Also, it has 32 channels, from channel 1 to channel 32. So you can set your speed light to work with any channel depending with how you like it. Yeah, that's all about radio slave. The final function of this speed light, it can be used as a master slave. By master slave, I mean the speed light can be used to trigger other speed lights. So to use it as a master slave, you need to long press the mode button until it starts blinking. Then you change to M. After you change to M, you'll note now it's at master slave. After that is done, it will appear M on the group, which means it's now the master. So to trigger the other speed lights, you need only to set the channels and the speed lights and the groups which you want to be triggered to the other speed lights. And I guess that's all you need to know about this Godox TT600. Yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, you can comment, or you can call us. Our number will be indicated on the description. Just in case you need anything, you can click on the link and make your purchase, and we'll do the delivery. Thank you, and welcome next time.